this is like a lot of content, but at the same time, it's just sort of, it's so easy to summarize. There is a man. He is from Texas. He attended high school in Kentucky. There is a woman who also attended high school in that area. This person right here, Amanda, who is has been impersonated on the internet apparently for years, in Rekieta's local chat and on YouTube. There are videos of Rekieta singing this person's name and going, oh Mandy, talking about how he would fuck the shit out of her, how Lady Rackets would also would also fuck the shit out of her. They might arrange a threesome. He can't wait to go to Anime Matsuri because he wants to fuck the shit out of her. Just like continually talking about how much he loves Mandy. Mandy's always in this chat. Mandy's always in the YouTube chat. He's just constantly engaged with this person who is not his wife, and who he only knows through Discord and stuff, and rigorously defends her. And anytime anyone points out how her persona seems like a fake identity, she gets very defensive, and Rekieta also gets very defensive. But she will never get on voice chat. She'll never talk to Rekieta and defend herself. And it turns out that it's probably a guy who has been skinwalking this woman for years. There's a couple way that this lines up. His location, his high school lines up, and then specific events in his life versus what Mandy talks about. So you can find obituaries for his family members that are dying at the exact day that Mandy is talking about losing other people in her family. So it all... Oh, and then there's actual photos of the family members that match up. So it really appears. Oh, and then the car. Mandy pretends to be like a car mechanic, and continually talks about her super awesome car that her as a cool tomboy car mechanic is super into vehicles, but obviously no fucking woman in the entire world gives a shit about a Lincoln 1984 town car. And then this guy also drives a Lincoln, but it's like a 2004 town car or something. So it's like 20 years off. But lines up with the wreck history and shit. So it's very in-depth, and it's not entirely interesting with details. So I will sum it up just as that people are pretty confident that this is Mandy, that it is a woman that this guy knows. And that he's been pretending to be for years, so that if anyone were to try and dox Mandy or cause her problems in relation to the Rekieta stuff, they would simply be inconveniencing this woman who has nothing to do with this escapades. And presumably she hasn't thought about this guy in 20 years. So she would not think it's him. So Rekieta has not been having a good time dealing with this and having to come to the realization that this person who for a long time, based on things that he said, it's been speculated that he had marital issues because of what he said about having sex with Mandy. So the realization that he might have fucked up his relationship and his to summarize it, people think that he's already living away from them and has visitation with the kids out like an hour away or something every so often. So the idea that he might have fucked up his life because of this catfish is pretty depressing. So he decides to go out to the hot tub and talk about Stephen Hawking being an inspiration because of how much poon he gets despite being a cripple and being married.
What God did to Stephen Hawking, he put him in his fucking place. I do think Stephen Hawking is a bit of an inspirational story. Because if that crippled piece of fucking electronic rejects can manage to cheat on his spouse who knew him when he could walk, get a new nurse for a wife while having a dick made out of an old Atari joystick, like, everybody should be able to find someone, I would think. Maybe she just liked the paycheck, I'm not sure. Hawking was a genius, though. Yeah, why couldn't he figure out how to stand up or open his mouth? So smart. Maybe she liked his wheels. She didn't want to walk to the bathroom. Stephen Hawking was faking. Stephen Hawking was just the first weekend at Bernie's. They're like, oh, he has this disease. Like, no, he's just dead. Put him in that chair and have the, they just have a text-to-speech donation chat for Hawking stuff. They just crowdsourced it from physics students at Cambridge. Were you talking about Hawking wanking to midgets mathematics? No, but that's he didn't wank it. Like, he had to have his nerds do it, right? She had to be there. I used to make fun of Hawking in the Dick Show Facebook group because someone was always like, he's a genius. He had 2 doctorates. I'm like, so? And lots of people have way more than 2 doctorates. Oh, Stephen Hawking wrote this article. It was an opinion piece about human social interaction. And it was the most fucking offensive, not words, but notion ever that Stephen goddamn Hawking would be the guy to write a piece about human social interactions. Because 1, not only is he a failed technic set, right? But 2, he's also a rich, elite, overeducated academic who's regarded as this super genius with insight into everything. This motherfucker wouldn't know human interaction if it put his dick in his broken mouth. And so I fucking hate like that he got to write that article and people listen to it. Of course he can write it with a speak and spell, but people listen to it and it's like, what the hell is this? Why would you listen to this guy? Who has this guy interacted? And it was more appropriately, it was on modern human interaction. So you can't even say, well, he was leaning on his prior experience because that was decades before. This dude is sitting there writing about the change in human interactivity. It's like, brother, you live in a literal ivy tower, except you need a fucking handicap lift to go anywhere in it. That always just bothered me. So I started making fun of it, and people got so mad that I made fun of their little fucking Hot Wheels. So I made fun of him more forever. Now I hate him. I memed myself into hating Stephen Hawking.
It's a really weird tangent. That entire thing, I can never follow. I'll never understand, or I can't understand what he says anymore. Just like his ability to sequence thoughts one into the other is just fucking nonsense. And how do you develop a hatred of Stephen Hawking? I mean, I can understand hating Stephen Hawking because he's like paying underage girls to gyrate on him. That I can understand. Being a Jeffrey Epstein client, I can understand. But Jeffrey Epstein, or Stephen Hawking is being outed as being on Epstein's client list. And the first thing he does is go out and talk about what an inspiration he is. Such a contrary. He's fucking lost it. Just lost his mind. He cannot find a single dipshit thing not worth saying about anyone or any time. It's really crazy. Did I even mention the sober spring thing? I might have mentioned it during super chats or something last stream. I did, because I was talking about Rekieta and how my predictions for him getting better completely and totally fell apart. But I'll reiterate that he made a declaration that he was going to not drink on stream in 2024, which is the year that we're in now, not 2020. That was quite some time ago. And he's already like reneged on this. He put out a series of tweets about how he realized that life is about enjoying the moment. And then someone asked him, so is this your way of backtracking the sober January thing? And he's like, yeah. He just said, yes, that's what I'm saying. So this is the video clip about it. I've actually not listened to this prior, so this will be a first listen.
Who said anything about sobriety? One of my friends does something that I'm actually going to try out. My friend Cecil, he does a month. It's early in the year. It's either January or February where he doesn't drink.
This is out of order. I think that what happens is that he says, who said anything about sobriety? And this is her injecting where he mentioned sobriety.
And so I'm gonna do the sober January, because it's like the New Year's resolution, right? I'm doing sober streams for January. We'll see what happens after that. But oh my God, everybody, again, there's a fun thing on the internet where everybody claims to know everything because they see a small portion of life. But it's good. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
So are you sober all the time for January or just for streams? Well, again, sober streams, but people miss something. I don't generally drink off stream unless it's a social event. You just don't drink a ton. People think because I drink on streams that I'm drinking all the time. That's really not the thing, but whatever. So sober streams, because I didn't like how I was utilizing liquor as a crutch more than a gimmick on the show. And it's, you know, I didn't like how it was affecting the show in that way. And there's a whole bunch of reasons for it, but when you give yourself an excuse to let an activity get out of control, you should get it under control. So sober streams for January, focusing on delivering content rather than relying on an altered state is that's my goal. We'll see how that goes. If it's good and should be maintained, then it'll keep going. Or if it is bad and isn't useful, maybe bring the liquor back. Who knows? We'll figure it out at some point. Don't know how it will go. With that, Tim Cass says, "Are you an alcoholic?" Well, no, I don't think so. You said the same thing when you stopped doing the Friday shit show panels too. Well, I don't.
It's just crazy because like the whole point was that he complained. He went out and he complained that he was being accused of being alcohol dependent. And with an accusation like that, he believed that there was no way to defend himself from those accusations. How do you shake that reputation of being dependent on something? Because if you say, no, I'm not, you just sound like you're coping, like an alcoholic would. And then someone, presumably people in his audience, suggested, hey, why don't you just go sober for a little bit? And he thought, sure, of course I can do that. I can do that for January. And now he's like pretending that he forgot what the purpose of doing that was, just to show people, yeah, of course I can stop drinking. I can do my streams as I do without any alcohol, and I'll do it for an entire month just to really drive the point home that it's not something that I need in my life. And now as he approaches the new year, he goes out and he says, well, life is actually too short to spend an entire month doing something you don't want to do. So bottoms up. And he just is going to pretend that there was no point to the commitment to begin with. Crazy.
Do Friday shit show panels, do I? But yeah, it's just, again, it's a decision I made based on how certain shows went involving.
He didn't do it. He didn't not make a leak. He didn't do it at all. He committed to doing a sober January and then backed out of that commitment before the New Year's happened. He changed his mind before it even began. He has not been sober for more than a few hours at a time. He hasn't been sober for more than one nap at a time in all of 2024 thus far.
Talked about cutting back on the drinking when you did stop the Friday shows. Yeah, I did. And I didn't do it very well. Like I said, it is what it is. People will always make their assumptions about like what your life is like, but you can't do anything about it. You can't fucking change. You can never change anybody's mind. Like they have decided what your life is and what it will be. So you just let it go and do your shit. You look way better sober. Best of luck. Oh, thanks. I don't think I look different. Okay. It's fine. It's a weird life. It's a weird life, but it's all good, man. I've had such a great end of December that I really can't be fucking mad about anything. We'll see what 2024 has in store, but I'm enjoying it so far. I don't know. Life has a strange way of approaching you and developing in ways that are unexpected and interesting. And I don't know. I'm here for it. There's not much you can do about most things, so you just kind of ride with it.
Life is like a plastic bag. Some days you're floating in the wind, helpless to every desire and momentary whim of life as a flow. And then one day you wake up naked in bed next to your daughter's best friend, and you are shot dead in the back of the head by a closeted gay Nazi. It just can't be helped. There's nothing you can do. Might as well just drink. Poor Rekieta. He's like got this learned helplessness about how he perceives things, where it's just like, well, there's no point trying to do anything because we're fucked anyways. Baldo Pegans for 5 says, need a catfish and alcoholic non-practicing lawyer in his online community. The new Buffalo Baldo will help keep your balls safely tucked away. Use promo code Daniel Harris for 10% off at checkout. I heard those go great with night vision goggles. Those also help, trust me. A stupid fuck for 5 says, Nick drinks liquor every day. He just can't stop. Alcohol withdrawal is dangerous. He needs a supervised detox. In rehab, I was on a benzotaper for a week and for seizure meds for 3 weeks. Well, tell him that. I know that detox is dangerous with alcohol withdrawal, but you're not going to convince him to go to inpatient. It's too much of a injury to his pride. Kuryuma for 25 says, you forgot to play the best Rekieta video, by the way. And he links to a video, which perhaps is the best Rekieta video.
Whiskey 777 says, congrats on another wasted, unorganized, rambling mess of a show. At least there's comedic value in being a drunk moron. Dude, yes. How can you do this? How can you fail so hard? There's comedic value. Brother, I'm only on YouTube and Rumble to make you smile, whether it's seriously or comedically. That's it.
Are you smiling?
I'll share
chat?
My life with you.
Are you filled with mirth, chat?
So you can smile at it and laugh at how silly it is. And the reason I'm okay with that is because I look at what I do and go through and all this shit, and I look at my life 6, 7 years ago, and I go, God, it was so different. Life was different. Concerns were different. Everything was different. I'm
not eager to hear Rekieta cope about being a fucking alcoholic for the ferments. Bro, like, I'm like an entertainer. So like, if I'm a fucked up drunk mess and I entertain people by being such a sloppy retard, that's like, I'm still winning, bro. Like, come on.